You know I try to be a good man, I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I wanna go to the wild, wild way.
And now, live from our Smokehouse studio, it's time for Real Estate Jerky. All your real estate questions answered by a provocatively lean expert host, Ed Parcaut, MBA, veteran, and president of Lending for Living. And today's special expert guest, real estate advice you won't find anywhere else. Plenty to chew on, starting now.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here with my special guest, Keith Fortner. He is a senior designer for the Christopher Kennedy Design. Keith, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Today we're going to look inside a home through the eyes of a renowned interior designer, Keith Fortner. Not just any interior designer, but interior design that benefits an entire community and of Turlock, the Christopher Kennedy Design Showcase event. All proceeds benefit Jessica's House, Salvation Army, the Covet Care at Home Hospice. But before we get into that, I want to remind our listeners why I do this each week. Our goal here at Real Estate Jerky is to get you into home ownership. It's how you build personal wealth in this day and age, and that for most people, it's the only way they build personal wealth. And before I forget, I know that I'm here for you not only as the host of this show, but I bring you expert information from the top folks in their fields, but also as a mortgage advisor with Lending for Living. And if you need any information at all, feel free to give us a call at pound 250, say the key phrase Real Estate Jerky. Again, that was pound 250, key phrase Real Estate Jerky. You can leave us a message. You can also get us through Facebook and Twitter. And let's get going. Keith, I had no idea this kind of function even existed, so you want to give me a little information about the project?
Sure. Well, the show house concept in general has actually been around for quite a long time. One of the most renowned show houses is actually in New York City every year. It's the Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club show house. It's been around since 1973. And over the course of that time, they have raised over $20 million.
Wow.
But perhaps the oldest one is actually here in California. It is the Pasadena Show House for the Arts, and it's been around since 1948.
Wow. How long is the thing that you're doing been around? Is this brand new?
This is new. Well, this area they've had show homes before, and we, Christopher Kennedy Inc., have produced them before, but only in Palm Springs. So we've tried to take our Palm Springs concept and try it out on the road. So we're taking it to new towns, and Turlock is our first one.
All right, and so in Turlock, where's it located in Turlock, since I don't know anything about the project?
It's on California Avenue, so I'm not that familiar with Turlock.
Okay.
Lovely tree-lined street, some beautiful homes. The entire neighborhood is just lovely, straight out of a John Hughes movie. It's very idyllic and easy to get to. It's really close to downtown Turlock.
What year is the home?
It was built in 1971.
Wow.
It was a post and beam construction. It sort of an A-frame style with vaulted center section. How this came about with this particular home, the homeowners moved in about 6 years ago, a family with 3 kids, and shortly thereafter they had a flood. So they took that opportunity. They were forced to move out, and they decided to take a moment and figure out what exactly they wanted to do with the property. And the homeowner, she was very familiar with the show house concept, and she had seen our work in Palm Springs during the Modernism event, which is now a 15-year event, and our show homes are usually centered around Modernism, which gets 100,000 people in the Palm Springs area for 10 days. And just the energy and excitement around it and the caliber of design talent that we are able to feature, she decided to sort of postpone her renovation until she could get us on board to make it everything she wanted.
So I just want to jump ahead a little bit. So what happens when you're done with the house?
So when we're done with the house, the family moves in. We leave town. A lot of the furnishings will leave the home. That is used temporarily. Sometimes if the homeowner really likes it, it is offered to them to purchase. We just try to make sure that everything that stays with the house, plumbing, tile, flooring, wallpaper, things of that is all approved by the homeowner, so that when she and her family move back in finally, after 4 years now,
Wow.
that they have a home, it is a long time, they have a home that they really enjoy. So we do try to run those types of decisions by them.
I mean, I went through a remodel for 6 weeks, and that was long enough for me.
It's, exactly.
All right, so how does this house get picked? Do they contact you and say, we want to put our house in, or how does that work?
They actually contacted us, and that's how our other show homes have worked. Typically, they are clients, and sometimes they're just willing to take the leap of faith and jump into the show house arena. But this particular homeowner actually sought us, and we said, sure, why not?
Okay, so you come in, you design it, you do all the work, and then how does it benefit the other the charities that are part of this that we're talking
So
about?
it benefits the charity strictly through the proceeds raised by, we have a few evening events and then daytime tours. And the whole event will be over 3 weekends from October 4th through the 20th, with tours being on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then with different events at night. So that's how the charities are benefited.
So basically, all the work that's being done is paid for by the homeowner.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, we've been really lucky. We have solicited sponsors and local sponsors. A lot of local businesses have really stepped up and given us great deals on product. And we have some national sponsors who have helped us out. And it will be published in Aspire magazine, which is it's actually a national magazine. It started out as a regional publication in the East, and they're going to publish the final product. So there's a lot of benefit in that for people who wish to support us. But yeah, we've been really lucky to get people to jump on board with us.
All right, so when they jump on board with you, and I know I'm not going strictly to the script, but
That's fine.
all right, so they put it out to you guys, say, yeah, we want to do it. So for how long does the start to when you get going? How long does that process usually take? You know, to do that. I mean, we're talking like, okay, it's a year, or it could take 3 years, or
Well,
6 months.
This
Not the work itself,
right.
but going, okay, yeah, we want to get on board. Now we got to do the design. We got to get all the people in place.
In a perfect world, and what we would aspire to do would be to do this at least a year in advance.
Okay.
I would have to say most of this has been in the past 6 months, and
Wow.
that includes asking designers, asking for product, asking for any type of support. It's in very short order, and sort of my role in the whole thing is I'm the producer. So I'm the liaison between all the other designers. There are 14 designers total, and I am sort of the one who gets all their information and makes sure that the general contractor has it, that everyone that's in, so I'm just sort of the go-between man, and I'm the one who cracks the whip saying, you know, we had no choice but to meet our deadline.
Right. So you have, again, how many designers?
14.
14. And what do they do? Take each a room, or how does it work?
Yes, each designer is offered a space, and sometimes if it's the master bedroom, they might also do the master bath. But basically, we have the home and the pool house in 14 different areas, so each person gets a space.
And then how do they pick that space? Is it a raffle, or is it like
It's
everybody
sort of
usually has their thing they do?
Absolutely, it's sort of a combination. People that we were able to sort of first come, first serve for a lot of people. The first people that we reached out to, if they were interested, we said, you know, what space would you like to do? And we were, you know, we gave them that. And then others that were sort of on board later, we might give them a choice. But this is what we have left between, you know, these 3 spaces, and which do you prefer? And some people, you know, have really strong opinions. Some people won't do it because it's not a space they, you know, wish to showcase their work, and other people are really happy to jump in.
So basically, it has to work with what they want to do. Basically, when so it's better being first, is what I'm hearing.
It probably is better being first, but sometimes, you know, the best spaces also come with the most financial commitment on behalf of the designers. Sometimes you can make a huge impact in a very small room,
Right.
and you don't have near the work and the financial output to get noticed.
Right. And I don't want to get too far in this because we have to go to break, but the designers, want to do this to showcase their work so they can get other jobs and show the community what they
Absolutely.
do and that kind of stuff.
Correct.
All right. Well, we'll pick that up when we get back. Hey, we'll be right back after this break. Listeners, if you have any questions or comment, please dial pound 250, say the key phrase real estate jerky. Again, that's pound 250, say the key phrase real estate jerky. You can leave us your questions or comment, and you can also send us questions on Facebook or to realestatejerky.com, and that was radio@realestatejerky.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you. Get back. All right, so now, let's get that off. All right, so now we have, the next segment is 12, so I need to know how you want to do this segment. What do you want to talk about? We kind of did an overview.
Right.
So let's break it down into some more, because we can take, let's say, we'll do 3 or 4 minutes with this, we'll do,
Okay, guys.
you gotta put your headphones back on for her.
Put your headphones on so it looks like you're talking. You're doing great, and you're doing great.
No, it's hard. I have no idea.
But you're doing great because you're absolutely asking.
You're asking the right questions.
You are absolutely asking the right questions.
Yeah, because you're asking because you don't know.
So the thing that people are going to want to know, since you're hearing about designers ed, is who they are.
Right.
So.
Well, that's what we left, kind of, we're the designer, and I thought we'd come back and let's
Yep,
pick up
it's
where we
perfect.
left off. Who are the designers? Who's doing what room? Do you know what they're doing? Do you not know what they're doing?
Some kind of the like the stoves that are from
Diagonal.
Yeah.
Diagonal. How do you
Yeah.
say it here? Diagonal.
Anyway, there's go into that because that's what's going to get people to come out, and
Right.
and also our listener who is a homeowner or a prospective homeowner. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Or, oh, I've always wanted to see one of those, or whatever.
And what does it look like? How would they might have seen it before? Remember that? Did you see? Was it in a movie? Was it in? You know what I mean? So they can go. Oh, I don't know what that looks like. I got to go there, and I've never seen that.
Okay.
Just so people know what we're talking about.
And then I do have a question. When we kind of get to later, some of the questions are really sort of design oriented.
Yes.
Like, where is it? Oh, what can our audience do to their own homes? What do you think the 3 best investments are for decorating perspective, stuff like that? Are you asking that question in general, or because of the real estate jerky?
Right.
Is these for people who are considering selling their home?
Yes.
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 Or buying a
So-
home.
Or buying a home.
or-
So,
So Real Estate
So-
Jerky is here just to help people, because we had the huge downturn.
Right.
So most of the kids who their parents lost their homes don't think they should buy a home. And so we're here to educate people on
Okay.
that. But it's also about the community and why it's important. Where you live, you want to be part of that community, and what's good about the community is why you want to live there. You
Okay.
follow me?
Yeah.
If nobody does anything for the community, why do you want to live there?
right.
Nobody's helping it, right? So
Okay.
that's what this is all about. It's not all about just real estate and what's going on with the market, because people get tired of that. They hear enough of that. What's going on in my community? I'll
Right.
talk about the market. I'll talk about certain things, but today is about this that's happening in Turlock. Last week was Society for Disabilities, talking about what they do. And then I had, weeks before that, we had somebody on, a financial planner. We had a guy that was is it recession? Is there a recession coming? We talked about the signs of it and that kind of stuff. Yes and no. Yes and no. It's only happening because of the tariff thing right now. And once that's over, watch out. The market should be $5,000 to $10,000 higher, not dollar, but it should be higher. The actual market out there for the the stocks and stuff, it's being pushed down because of the tariff war. Once that's resolved, watch out. It's going to take off again. So we're only talking a couple of quarters, even if we get in a recession. You won't know it until it's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word on that.
No, I mean, the housing prices here are going to continue to go up. People are going to buy more homes because the
I
interest
just
rates are
sold my
going.
home because I was wanted to get out.
Interest rates are going to go down because
They just did a cut today, right?
Yeah, but that has to do with more short-term rates.
Oh.
I mean, that's a good question later on.
Yeah.
For me, is like, I heard they cut today, and I can go into my little spiel about
Yeah.
how has nothing to do with actual mortgage
Yeah.
rates.
So just lead me into that.
Well, we'll get that in the last segment.
Yeah.
We'll try to get everything you want, in, and then we'll give me a little bit. Usually I have an agent here who helps out, but we're kind of looking for some other people. So we're good.
Okay.
All right, so I'll bring us back about the designers. You can tell me, why don't you tell me who the designers are, what are they doing, what room, do you know what they're putting in? Okay?
Let me pull it up first.
Oh, we got time. And then we'll go through, when are the tours, later.
Okay.
Because we talked about the tours, but we didn't talk about when they were, so
Okay.
we can go more in detail, on set. Open is this is what you get, how do you get the tickets, how do you do that?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
Hey, we're back, and for those of you just turning in, God, I can't talk to you. One more time. Jeez. Take too long off. Ugh.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
And we're back, and for those of you just tuning in, I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor with Lending for Living, and your host, along with my guest Keith Fortner, who is a senior designer for Christopher Kennedy Design. And before the break, we were talking about designers and about the project. Who are the designers for this project? Do you know who they are?
I do. We have, I think I said earlier, 14 different designers. Right. Some of them are local, some of them are native to the Valley and are familiar here with some of your listeners, and then others are from mostly California. We have one, Nar Bustamante, who's from Chicago. We have...
All right, so let's talk about him.
Sure.
What's his forte, or what is he just... He's big on.
He is, what he's doing in our space, he's doing an office, a little niche that we carved out, an existing garage. We actually enclosed a garage that was, that had been the home originally. We enclosed that space.
How big was the garage? It was like a 3-car garage? Or?
No, it's like a 2-car garage, built in the 70s. It wasn't really large, but we enclosed that and made that a family room. And then within this family room, what would have been storage for the garage, we're carving out a little office. And he's doing all custom cabinetry. It's all stuff he's designed. And he's just making it fully utilitarian in there. He's been able to cram so much practical storage into a very little space.
Wow. All right, next one.
And then with that, Natasha Managian, she is a designer out of Orange County, and she's known for her sort of classic, super high-end but understated style, and she's going to be doing our family room. And we sort of had directives from the family, how would you really like to use it? And she's trying to be appreciative of that. And so she's got a really super sexy, dark and moody plan. And then we have Chris Reed and Mark Little, I believe. They are local. They are doing our entry and our living room. And it is, they've been very secretive. They're trying to even make me wait and see what it's going to look like.
One of those big reveals at the end.
It is. It really is. And for the homeowner, too, part of how we prepare for this is when you take our tour, you'll be given a journal. And through it has sort of all the pertinent information for each room and stats about the designer and how they came up with their inspiration, etc. So, but typically we have a mood board or a room rendering so that it's a nice keepsake when you leave. You can remember certain elements of the room because it's in your journal, but they've been reluctant to even share that with us because they really want to surprise us and the community. Wow. But I have seen a few elements, and it's quite breathtaking. And then who else? Well, then myself and Christopher Kennedy, who the firm I work with, he and I are doing the kitchen and the dining room. It's sort of, we've taken 2 spaces and combined them. And I won't say it's quite open concept. It's sort of a concept I haven't seen. It's open and closed. So that's a new one for everybody. But we're doing that. And again, we really let the homeowner weigh in on how this was going to, what she wanted the overall feel to be, how do you want this to function. And locally, Gaggenau has stepped in with all these amazing appliances, some stuff I've never seen. She has 4 ovens, and she has 2 huge refrigerators, and she has this whole component cooktop system. I've never seen anything like it. It's really spectacular.
What was the name of the brand?
Gaggenau,
yeah,
and that was through Direct Appliance here.
Okay.
They've been really generous with product, and have they've helped us out tremendously along the way. And we also have in the kitchen, this is one of the showstoppers. It's the kitchen sink, believe it or not. It's from a company called The Galley. It is a 7-foot long sink. It's like a swimming pool.
Wow, that's pretty long.
Yeah, it's big. And
I guess you're going to have a lot of dishes.
I think so. She does have a big family, but this was something she was insistent on it, and I've never seen one like it. It's the first one of its kind that I've ever used. We've never used it before.
You can wash a lot of babies in that thing.
You could yes, a lot of babies and a few dogs.
Not that you want your dog.
No, but yeah, you've got room for a neighborhood pool party practically. It's quite expansive.
7-foot sink, that's unusual.
Absolutely.
How deep is it? Just like normal depth?
It's normal depth, and it includes there are components to it like cutting boards and strainers and things like that. So it's a whole system. It's not just one long basin, but it's that's going to be the scene stealer, I predict.
How many faucets along the way? Like
Two. It actually has two.
Okay.
But they're spaced pretty far apart. Two people could certainly be doing something on either end of the sink and not be in the other's way.
This must be a pretty big size house. I think, what was it?
It's pretty good.
200 square
It's
feet, 35?
32. I think originally it was 3,200. I think with enclosing the garage, and there is what was a separate garage, a freestanding garage. We've enclosed that to make a pool house and sort of a teen lounge. That space is going to be designed by a Newport Beach designer. Her name's Riley Clausen, and she was formerly in the fashion industry, and she is known for her surfboard chic, and she gladly took on this challenge. It's really going to be a teen lounge for gaming. There'll be multiple televisions, and there'll be a small weight room for them. There'll be a ping pong table, and just kind of places for all the kids to hang out. And then also in that space, there's a separate sort of retreat. Kathleen Jennison, who's from this area, she's designing that, and that's really just for sort of like the female opposite of the teen lounge. It's really the she shed for the homeowner, so she can use that as her space.
Gotcha. So who's doing the pool?
The pool, well,
Anybody doing anything out there?
yes, they are actually.
Landscape
Well,
pool?
Burkett's has been helping us with our pool. They created a beautiful design. It's kind of spectacular, but the whole area around the pool is being furnished by a designer from Orange County in London. His name is Barry Livingstone, and he's bringing up like a truckload, like a semi-truckload full of amazing teak furniture. He is doing that space, and then we have all these little different areas. So even within the backyard, there'll be a barbecue, and then a fire pit area that we just added, and that's being done by Lindsay Borchard, who is another Orange County designer. So we're heavy on the California. We're West Coast heavy, which is great. So she's doing that outdoor area, and we're adding a putting green, and all of our landscaping is through Green Lion here. They have, they've come up with some really amazing stuff. And let's see, back in the house we have Justine McPhee, who's a San Francisco designer, is doing our master suite and ensuite. We have
Anything unique in there?
We were able
That
to
you know of?
that I know of, yes. We were able to get kind of stealing space from existing closets and things like that, and just shifting subtle things around. Able to give a separate sort of wet room for a steam shower. And these homes built in that era, they're not huge.
No.
It's a fairly average, modest size, but yet I'm surprised as we get further along into it, how it seems to be living larger. I think the choices we made by raising doors, we were able to raise just the passage doors from like 7 feet to 8 feet, and just something as simple as that really lifts the house and makes it feel and live bigger than perhaps it is square footage wise.
How tall are ceilings on it?
They go from, because it's pitched in the center, they go from 8 being the lowest to about 10 and a half at the highest point in the living room in the entry area.
And I'm sorry, you said the design of the house it's not mid-century, right?
Well, it's 1971, so it's coming out of mid-century. I think we typically think of mid-century as 50s, 60s, but it's really coming out of that. It's sort of the end of that era. And it feels like it's an older home, but it's actually 1971. And then I'm trying to think, we only have a few spaces left. Let's see, what don't I have? We have Jane Warda Smith, who's a local designer, and she's doing our laundry room and mud room and man, she's a genius at carving out storage. I don't know where she found it, but she's come up with a really interesting design. And actually, she's in a good spot right now. Her rooms are actually pretty much done, where the rest of us are going to be sweating it out as we hit our deadline. But she's done an amazing job. And then we have Max Humphrey, who is from Portland, and he's doing one of the boys' rooms. I think I said earlier there are 3 sons, and he's doing one of the boys' bedrooms, and he's doing a shared bath for the boys. And then probably our most well-known might be Kelly Ellis. Kelly Ellis has been on HGTV and the Design Network. She's been on multiple shows. She's one of those personalities that you've probably seen her even if you didn't catch her name. And she's doing another one of the boys' bedrooms and bath. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. I think I've included pretty much everybody.
Anything change on the front side of the house when you walk up?
Just nothing severe. No, all the windows have been replaced, of course. Cal Comfort helped us out with that. And we have new stucco, so it'll be a different color, just sort of all the basic things, but nothing changed as far as sort of moving windows or moving the doors or the entry or that. It pretty much stays true to the original architecture on the front, but everything will of course be spruced up and given a new life.
What about the landscape in the front? Anything change there?
We decided to keep that simple. The street is so beautiful. The trees are huge, and you don't need a whole lot. There are built-in planters in the front that we're totally redoing, but we decided to keep the lawn really simple. We're gonna have just a plain, lush, green picture postcard entry. So, kept it simple.
All right. Well, let's pick it up after we go to break. All
Okay.
right? Hey, we got to head out to a break. As a veteran myself, I think it's important to support members of our military. And today I want to brag about my son, Blake. He just graduated from U.S. Army boot camp training at Fort Jackson in South Carolina. And they know how to do humidity there. He finished 4th in his physical fitness out of 240, and he got expert shot on his rifle. And so my wife has been bragging about him on Facebook and everywhere else. So I want to give him a shout out, and we'll talk to you when we get back. All right, so that gave me 10 seconds. All right, so I forgot to tell you when I do 2, it's 2 minutes. So
Yeah,
do 1,
I
it's 1
figured.
minute. All right, so now we have 22 minutes left. So this segment's another 12. So one of the things we probably want to talk about is when it's finished, how do people get the
Get the tickets.
and what's involved with the wine tour? Where are you getting the wine from? Where
I don't know.
the Gallo?
I don't think it is. Let me see if I can ask.
I'm just curious. Grand opening soiree. What does that what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about what's Dancing with the Turlock Stars.
Yeah.
You talk about anything about that?
A little bit.
Okay. Then you can say. Why don't we go into? I'll go back into who's benefiting from the place. You talk about how the sales from this stuff goes for that, and you can
Right.
just a little bit more into it.
I don't know a whole lot about the charities.
I'm not
although
asking you for it to explain what the
Okay.
charities do.
Yeah.
Just who they are.
Okay.
Yeah. The people from Orange County, did they even know where Turlock
Right.
was? Because I lived in San Diego for 18 years. So, and then I moved up here because I went to high school in Turlock, left and joined the Navy to get the heck out of this area because who wants to be in this area? Joined the Navy, swore I'd never be back, and I came back in 2002 and moved to Modesto because it had to do with one of my daughter's special needs. I wanted to be closer to her, and she was up higher. And I'm like, I'll go to Modesto, I have family there. And I've been here ever since, remarried, and just been stuck here. But yeah, San Diego, Orange County is a little different.
Oh yeah. And Palm Springs is.
Oh, Palm Desert too. There's so many pages today. All right. So when are you doing anything?
Is this the segment where I looks like I'm doing the takeout?
Are you doing the takeout? And then I got to do the intro back in.
Is that right?
I don't know what number are you. What number is that?
I don't have a page number. It just
Oh,
says
your number. Yeah, your
show
third segment.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of this segment when I'm saying, okay, we're going to go to break, and then you'll take us out.
So you say, why don't you? So you're just going to go to the script. Keith, I
Yeah.
think it'd be great. You take us. Okay, sure.
Sure, that's what I'm going to do. As you can tell, I try to. She scripts us, but I try to not say everything. I'm just trying to keep these pages because there's information about it. you want to talk about your background some more first, or what do you want to do?
I mean, we can. I mean, do you want to talk about my
We can do that.
my design background or my entertainment background? That's actually
Either one. Either
far
one.
more interesting. I can try to make it super short to get from there to there.
Well, no, that's fine. But why don't we talk about your the ticket sales and what days those are, and then the last maybe whenever we get through this and
Yeah.
we're looking at each other, what else we're gonna say? I said you can bring up your entertainment stuff, what you do, and how you got involved with this, and then we'll go out to break, and then we come back. We'll talk about whatever.
I said Cal Comfort. That's the mattress company. It's Cal.
You got it right. Cal Comfort Window.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Marlene, is it Cal Comfort? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, she was, when I was asking you about other stuff, and you finally said the windows, she's like, God, it's about time. I tried to get you there. Sorry. All right. 12 minutes.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
And we're back. I'm with my guest, Keith Fortner. He is a senior designer for Christopher Kennedy Design. You think I'd get it by now. And I'm your host, Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor at Lending for Living. Keith, when we left, we were talking about designers and who they are and what rooms they were doing. So let's talk about when it's all done, what are the events, and let's explain all that.
So assuming everything goes smoothly between now and then, we are set to have our first event on Friday evening, October the 4th. We're calling it Pardon Our Dust First Look Party. It's a small amount of tickets. It's for under 100 guests, but all the designers will be there, and it's really letting people have access to us as we're really literally putting the finishing touches on our designs. So we've had this event before in other show homes, and we were installing a kitchen hood during the party. But people really like that, and they liked it's really a great opportunity to engage with each designer and to really be up close and personal. But and you get to see it before anybody else does. So that's our first event on Friday evening, and then Saturday we open for tours. They are $25 in advance, and I think the tours are 10 to 4, and that's on Saturday and Sunday.
And that's from the October 5th through the 19th?
Yes, weekends only. So the house is dark during the week, and we will be doing tours Saturday, Sunday, and then the following 2 weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, through the 20th.
And you said the grand opening was Saturday, October 5th?
Yes.
7 to 10 p.m., and those tickets are $75 a piece?
That's correct. So that's our big soiree where we're expecting just tons of people. And the designers will all still be there. And these tickets, if you're interested, can be purchased. Go to our website, ChristopherKennedyShowhouse.com.
One more time.
ChristopherKennedyShowhouse.com. You can get tickets. There'll be a link to Eventbrite there that has all of our events, and you can sign up and purchase tickets through there.
Great. And then I also see there is a wine o'clock tour.
Yes, we decided. I heard that Thursday nights are a big deal in these parts, and so we decided to take advantage of that. And so we're offering a Thursday night wine o'clock tour. So for people who may not be able to see the house on the weekend, but would really like to see it, it's sort of an after work, come by, see the house at twilight, have a glass of wine and a nosh, and get that perspective of a day going into evening view of the house.
Okay. Now, we were talking about designers before, and you brought up Orange County and all this stuff. We were talking to break. Did you even know where Turlock was before you started this?
I did not. I didn't. I'm sorry to say I didn't. I am originally I was born in Tennessee, have traveled extensively in the U.S. and lived in New York City for many years, and then I moved to Palm Springs, California, 8 years ago.
You like heat?
I do now that I'm used to it. But I had never heard of Turlock, and when it was first brought up, I thought, okay, let's go check it out. And I have to say I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so that's why I was wondering if any of the other designers even knew where Turlock was.
A few did.
Okay.
A few did not. We had to point them to Google Maps for several of them so they could figure it out.
There's ways.
Exactly.
The address, and they'll get you there. All right, so talking about, so how did you get in, I know, we talked a little about how you got involved with this. Why don't you give us your background, you said you were born in Tennessee?
Correct.
Okay.
So I've been in interior design for the past 8 years, and I got there in sort of a roundabout way. I began my career many years ago, growing up in Tennessee. I started out as an entertainer in Nashville, and
Singer, songwriter?
I was a singer and a dancer at the time, but you might get a kick out of this. Have you ever heard of Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters? Did you know them from way back in the day? Well, I actually worked with Louise Mandrell.
I've heard of them, I don't know.
And I toured with her for 2 years, and that was sort of my Nashville break. And then over the course of years, I did many different types of entertainment jobs and ended up in New York City. And I did several Broadway shows and tours, and that's where I got to see the U.S. But I did 4 Broadway shows, and my last one being Beauty and the Beast, that closed in 2007. And shortly after that was over, I was suddenly a 40-year-old man, and the jobs weren't coming as quickly as they did before. And I had always been interested in interior design, and I was always doing a side hustle with event work and magazine shoots and event planning and floral design, and just sort of I was acquiring skills I didn't even realize I was getting. And then when I finally decided to make the move to Palm Springs, I thought I would really like to be in interior design. And it just so happens the first weekend I was there, I met Christopher, who had already started making a name for himself, and I introduced myself, and we became friends, and he hired me, and the rest is history. So now I got to move to the front of the line in pretty short order. I got my education as I was doing it, and I've been really fortunate to meet all these amazing designers and see their work from all over. And yeah, it's been pretty fascinating. It hasn't been a bad career change at all.
Good. So 8 years you've been doing this?
Correct.
And then, all right, so what, you talked about a few projects, let's bring them up again. What was the first project you were involved with?
The first project I was involved in was actually a photo shoot in Palm Springs. There was a home that was just ready to have their big grand reveal that we're all used to seeing these days. And so we wanted to shoot the house while it was picture perfect, and that was the first thing I did. And we do mostly residential work. We've done some commercial work. We renovated a nightclub, which was really fun and fantastic. But so it's really just typical clients hire us to do their vacation home type thing, and then we produce our show homes. So, and that is usually a year of work. It's not a full-time job until about the 6 months leading into it, but and that's sort of become my role, is that if able, I work with other clients, and if not, I produce show houses.
Yes. Now, you said you guys design second homes or vacation homes? Is that what you normally do?
Mostly second homes. I mean, just the Palm Springs market, although we've worked other places, but typically the people who are there are renovating a property, usually a mid-century property, and we're involved in that sort of from the very beginning of their renovation. But most of those homes are second or third homes. We don't do a lot of new construction there. That's mostly developers.
Right.
So, and most of our stuff is renovation.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know that area, that's where a lot of people buy their other home. You know, and they spend a lot of money on it usually.
And a lot of people retire there, but we get a lot of people fly in every weekend from San Francisco or Seattle, or they drive in from LA and San Diego. Right. So it's definitely a weekend community.
Yes. All right, so that's how you got your start here. Now you're doing this home, right?
Correct.
And then we talked about the different events that are going on, and then let's go over who they're benefiting again.
Yes, of course. So we were lucky enough to get teamed up with Dancing with the Turlock Stars, and they are 501(c)(3) themselves, but they benefit Jessica's House, the Salvation Army, and the Covenant Care Hospice.
How did you pick those? Was it just someone brought them to you, or that just?
We were sort of we were actively searching for people, anyone, like, hey, we want to, we're doing this project, but we really want to make sure that, we know where the money's going. And they came to us and said, yeah, we'd like to be a part of this. So they had heard about it, that this was happening, and just said, hey, by the way, how's this, who's this benefiting? And we're like, well, we're actually searching for that. And they're like, sign us up.
All right, so if you don't know, Jessica's House is a safe, caring place for children, teens, young adults, and their family grieving a death, because no one should grieve alone. Groups meet each week for, I think it's an hour and a half sessions. Each session is overseen by professional staff and highly trained volunteer facilitators, and it is free. What else? We were talking about Covenant Care at Home Hospice. They've been doing it for 30 years, offering comfort and care and compassion to people in the community facing life-limiting illness. Everybody knows Salvation Army. We're always in this area. It's real big. So that's really nice that you guys are helping out those places.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, you always want to, no matter what you do, if you're able to give back and connect with the community. I mean, the whole purpose of being here is we want to make sure that this whole project is community driven, and that really the local people get to take advantage of our work, and then whatever money is raised stay within the community.
And then a lot of people ask me, why do I bring on people like yourself to our show? And it's about, I always say, it's about the community. It's where you're going to live. When you're going to buy your home, you want to know about the community, and then get involved with the community so that you help make it a better area yourself.
Absolutely.
And it's nice to see these projects pop up, and especially this in Turlock. I haven't seen something in Turlock in a while, so it's nice.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 minutes to break.
Okay.
All right, so we talked about who it benefits, we talked about when it is, we talked about your background. Is there anything we need to throw in that I forgot?
I don't think so. Just a reminder that our tours are weekends only, and that you can get our tickets at ChristopherKennedyShowhouse.com.
And no kids, right? I'm just kidding.
No, children are certainly allowed during our tours. We do ask that our evening events be 21 and older.
Right, you're talking about the wine event, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and probably the soiree.
Yeah, the soiree.
Soiree.
Yeah.
See, I'm not
And
good at that
first
word.
thing.
That's too big of a word for me.
It's 2 syllables.
Well, I just don't. I can't put that.
I
I
understand.
can't roll my R's either. So
No,
big
neither
on
can
me.
I.
Yeah, so that's why I don't do Spanish real well. I only know a few words, enough to order.
I'm the equivalent. That's about all I know.
Well, you should know more now where you guys are.
You would think, but I don't. I haven't crossed that off my list yet. I really should.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Right.
All right. So, why don't you take us out to break a little early?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to do that, and thanks you guys for listening to Real Estate Jerky, and we'll be back after this break, but please don't miss this amazing opportunity to see unique interior design and architecture and amazing products and fantastic landscaping at the Christopher Kennedy Show House. This is in Turlock. Be sure you purchase your tickets online, ChristopherKennedyShowhouse.com. Don't go away.
Well, I'll talk to you guys back. All right. So we got about 10 minutes and 15 seconds for this next segment, and we're done.
Okay.
Goes fast. So, all right. So now let's talk about the interior design questions.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it back and I'll say, let's break it down for our listeners about their home.
Yeah.
Why, and then I should ask you why interior design. I'll just go off of these questions, okay? Why did you do interior design?
Why do I didn't?
Or not, I don't know. Have Marlene come here, please.
Yes.
All right, so why interior design? What's that question?
Yeah, I just don't know that I really
Is that
understand
the question?
Is that
Why
a question
did he
from-
go into
yeah.
interior design?
Nope.
Or why should you
No.
do your interior design?
Yes. Why
in your
do you use a
house?
designer? Why?
Why use a designer?
Yeah. Is Pinterest enough?
Hey,
All right,
yeah,
so
that sounds
why
pretty good. I
you-
mean, those are key points there.
Why you?
Why use a designer? Oh, can I
Right.
just go to Hobby Lobby?
Right. Oh, actually, I can touch on that all day long. People have an unreal expectation after watching HGTV.
Yes.
Yeah, things like
So here's what I'm looking
I mean,
for.
we use one because my wife kept buying furniture that didn't work. Right, I gotta be careful saying this, and then finally I said we need to hire a lady to come in here and do this.
Yes.
And somebody
Yeah.
we knew
Yes.
from somebody local.
Yes.
And she came in and picked the right stuff, and everything looks great.
Looks great.
And you love it, and you're comfortable in your house.
Right.
And you can live there, and you can actually live there and be comfortable there, and do all the things you do with life, right?
Right.
I have a daughter who trained for a while to be an interior. She's very naturally that way. She's actually going to be a nurse, but it was great, tiny. Mom, it's only paint. She's little, baby,
Yeah.
9, 10 years old. So I got it really early So when I started working with designers on projects like this over the years and my contractor clients,
Right.
I really got an understanding for that. So that's why you're enticing our listeners to use our local people,
Okay.
but at the same time, giving them some tidbits of information because, there are people who want to do it themselves.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but you
Yeah,
gotta be able to do it.
That's fine.
And I can't, we finally told me, all right, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, because it's amazing, a lot of people don't
Waste
understand the
first.
discomfort they have in their own home.
Right.
It's because of the design.
Right.
It's because of the decorating that they've decided to do.
Right.
And the colors that they've chosen. I mean, stuff like, yeah.
And I'll bring this up in the show,
But that's why interior design? Why does it exist? Why do it? Why hire a designer?
Right.
Why does it take a designer?
Yeah.
What's the elements of that? I mean, there's a million magazines.
10, 15, or just 10?
There's a million things out there, but I think, when I was reading through your bio and your diverse background,
I went
I know
over.
why he went this way, because as an entertainer,
Like
that's what you do.
45
You bring a
It's-
mood.
Exactly.
You were
It's
under
just a different
experience.
stage.
30.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what I was
Am I
wondering.
doing all right?
You're doing great. Are you kidding? They were like, this was last minute. I go, way last minute.
Yeah,
I
we
said,
need
but-
next week and the week after and the week after.
We have the next week.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we have the week after, and the week after.
I don't have the calendar.
I'm sorry you weren't
No.
here, so I didn't think
No,
about
I
it.
mean, fine, as long as I know. Just send it to me
Yes.
early so I can read the script.
Yes, well, I can't get the scripts done about much earlier.
No, I'm not gonna.
Sometimes, but not, mostly no. Mostly,
All right,
Oh, yeah.
so we got this. All right.
they don't call me back.
All right, so we have like 9 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll let you know when we have 2 minutes left in a minute. And then once we get to 9:30, I'll just say, all right, thank you for being in, goodbye. And then I come back in and I do this whole script for the end.
Okay, so do you just hang out then, or
I won't do.
it'll actually go to a break and you'll
Yeah,
come with us?
you can leave, and then I wait until everybody's gone, and then I do my last.
Got it.
Because it's too hard to try to stretch it in at the end. So what I do is I stop. It gives me a minute. I come in here, I record it afterwards, and then that way it's real smooth.
Okay.
Otherwise, I mess up constantly. I've been doing it over a year, but still, it's like
Leaving the bull behind, it's Real Estate Jerky.
And we're back for our final segment. I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor at Lending for Living, with my guest, Keith Fortner. He's the senior designer of the Christopher Kennedy Design. All right, so we're talking about a bunch of stuff during the break and before. And I want to go back through and break it down for our listeners about their own home or a home they're thinking about buying. Should they use an interior designer?
Absolutely.
And why?
If they can afford one. Why? Because ultimately it makes your life easier. I think a lot of people are especially when purchasing a new home, they're overwhelmed with the whole thing anyway. And sometimes they get super excited, but they might not make the best decisions right up front because they're just trying to get the home filled, or they're just trying to get certain things covered, and there's not sort of a master plan. But using a designer, it's really a great way for you to impart your preferences, your choices, your vision that you possibly can't articulate yourself. And a designer can take all that information and your personality and your lifestyle, and then they're able to interpret a plan for you. And then you will have a beautiful, usable home when you're done. And some people, they know what they like and what they don't like, but they don't know how to fit all the puzzle pieces together. And that's where using an interior designer can really help you navigate those hurdles.
And I think a lot of people, when they're trying to set up their home, they don't know what'll fit in certain areas. They don't measure as well as
Absolutely.
a designer would. And we were talking in the break. I mean, we use one at the house we're in because, and I'm not picking my wife, but she would pick out a chair or pick out something, and then it wouldn't go right with everything else. And so finally we said, okay, let's save money by hiring a designer to come in.
Right.
And they came in and they went through the whole thing and picked out, everything, lamps, everything that you wanted, chairs, everything all the way through, and it's been so much better.
Oh, absolutely. Well, a lot of people, a lot of amateurs, when they're trying to do it themselves, that don't do this for a living, they don't understand scale. So, you hold up a ruler, well, that's about that tall and it's about that wide, I think that'll fit, and you're exactly right. Most problems arise from not having proper measurements or really not understanding scale within a space. But that's where a designer can lead you.
Right. I mean, and sometimes people try to bring furniture from their old place to the new place, and
Right.
it won't work, it won't fit.
Exactly. It's not always one size fits all. Sometimes that piece you just absolutely love and think is perfect and was perfect in your previous home, it's not necessarily going to work in your new space. I mean, obviously we all acquire possessions and mementos,
Right.
and we try to incorporate those. We want we want your home to look like you, but we also try to help you select the stuff that you really need, and maybe that Billy Bass fish thing on the wall that you
That
thought
talks,
that
it
was
sings.
really cool 15 years ago. Maybe you could let go of that.
Well, I still have my recliner, I'm good.
Oh yeah. Well, hey,
Well, they have new ones now, they don't really look like the recliner.
they've gotten way better looking in the
I'm not
past
talking
few
the
years.
big, heavy, camo one
The
at the cabin.
Barca Lounger,
Yeah.
with the cup holders
Yeah, actually,
and a cooler.
yeah, cooler in there. Don't want to walk to the kitchen.
Right, that's too taxing.
Yeah. All right, so we're in the interior design. I mean, what's the best spent of your money? I guess. I mean, what's the biggest impact somebody can make getting a designer?
Several different things. I would say invest in some key pieces. You can't go wrong if you've outgrown your dorm furniture, and it's if you're your first time sort of in grown up house. If you buy the best sofa you can afford, that's going to be your anchor piece. It's going to set the tone for your house. That's money well spent. Also, paint. Everybody always claims, paint, it's the cheapest thing to do. Paint is not inexpensive. You don't want to screw up a paint color more than once. I would say paint is probably the most bang for your buck. Just make sure when you're doing it that you test it out first. Go buy a quart, take it home, test it in different lights before you make your choice. But paint will certainly give you huge impact. And then one more thing I think people overlook, and this is not necessarily design related, but buy the best mattress you
definitely
can afford.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference in all the rest of it.
Hey, go check them out. Make sure that it's which one you want. Try them all because it's important. That's where you spend most of your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, and what's nice about hiring an interior design, they can design your space. You don't have to buy all the stuff at that time.
No, absolutely not.
But at least all right, when we can, we'll get this, and this, and
Right.
do it over time because that makes it easier.
It's helpful when someone is able to sort of hand you a finished total concept, and then you can, if you don't like this or that, you can say, maybe let's not do that. Let's look a different direction for that. But at least it's all thought out. It's one single thread as opposed to doing, piecemeal bits and pieces that don't always relate to each other when the final project is done. But use a designer if you can, and just, try to keep another thing, what's going to make your life look better and feel better is really the whole decluttering thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Be careful with how much is out. It's cluttering up your visual space, and it's actually that seeps into other areas of our lives. I always say if you toss it if you don't absolutely need it, or not even toss it, just remove it for a while, see if you can live without it. If you want to bring it back or bring it back seasonally, that's great. But I think we're all we have so much stuff around us, and I think it's easy to get swallowed into that.
I've seen some of these shows and they do the design and then they do the reveal and you walk in there and it's a family room and there's no TV. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I mean, and let's be honest. I mean, I watch football. I watch
Right.
TV. It's I'm always going to be on my computer watching something. It's like, how do you why do they not incorporate that into design
Because
or hide
TVs do not photograph well.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, on television,
Yeah.
or even in print. I mean, you just have this sort of big black void. Everybody knows that there's going to be a television there, but it's actually just for aesthetics. That's why you don't really see them in these makeover shows that we're all inundated with. And that's another good reason sort of to come out for this project. everybody is way more design savvy now than they were, 15 years ago with HGTV and Bravo TV and the Design Network, and there's just so many
DIY,
shows. There's everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And so people know it, they see it, but they don't always get to be in it. They just seen it on their television. And sort of this show houses, you get exposed to really incredible design from people with different points of view regionally, and you actually get to be a part of it instead of just watching on television. When you come in, you can actually see, well, this is how this all unfolded, and this is, they put that together. I wouldn't have done that. Well, never would have thought to do that. It's a great way to get ideas and to actually see what you've been watching on television all this time.
All right, so we have a few, probably I think a minute or so. Why don't you talk about how people can get involved again? The website, tickets again, because in case they weren't listening to the whole thing, the project.
Yeah, absolutely. So we kick off on October 4th. We have a Friday night first look party. Our tours begin on Saturday the 5th, Saturday and Sunday, and go the next 2 weekends on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have 2 more evening events. Our opening night on Saturday, October 5th, and then we have 2 Thursday wine o'clock house tours. All these tickets can be purchased on ChristopherKennedyShowhouse.com. There will be links for all the events and the tours. ChristopherKennedyShowhouse.com.
All right. And so we still have a few seconds left. So is there anything you wanted to add to that?
I don't think you want to miss it. This is a really great opportunity, and we've done a really remarkable job with a great property. There are just too many things that you don't want to miss. Make sure you put it on your calendar.
Are you having a hard time keeping the family out?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're having a hard time keeping the mom out. She's there every single day. I would just say that the 3 sons have been fairly, reluctant to come. They're like, I'll see it when it's done.
Well, you see on TV, they put those, curtains up so they can't see out.
Right.
Pool people doing the pools and other stuff.
As we get closer to it and we actually do the week of the installations, we'll try to keep the family out because we want them to have their big aha moment, a reveal moment.
All right, Keith, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. This has been great. I appreciate it.
Sometimes I wanna be Jesse James.